Okay. We're back with Apollo and the murder weapon.
Yeah, Apollo and the Murder Weapon. That's my new band. Okay.
Oh no, I would listen to a pop punk band called Apollo and the Murder Weapon.
God, he probably does like punk. I love him. Anyway. Listen, he's comfortable in his masculinity. He's wearing a nice big bracelet. I love that for him.
It looks like a millennial item from
my God.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, no. It does. Okay. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon. This grape juice bottle? Right? Right, Mr. Right?
So I said.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine.
Nobody would guess that.
Yeah, I know. He's so old. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Oh, upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that.
Murder, I guess.
I carry wine bottles like that
Yeah, like
all the
everyone
time.
does.
Yes, to brain someone with the bottle.
Ah!
That's the stupidest line of reasoning I've ever heard.
Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Mr. Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on the bottle to the court?
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder.
A true lawyer to me. Just don't talk.
Just don't be. Why not present evidence that people carry bottles like that for all kinds of reasons?
I mean, yeah, but that's on your lawyer. That's not on you as a witness, you know, or
No,
like
but
you
I mean
as a suspect.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo, just, you know.
Yeah, Apollo, just like pick it up and show people. Like, you can just carry bottles like that. It's normal.
For now.
Oh. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file. The murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we?
Oh, yes, please.
I love a diagram.
We love a diagram. Oh, I'm so excited.
The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement, 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see. And this is the phone that made the call? Definitely a modern cell phone?
Right, 2007. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2007.
This was Wright's phone added to the court record.
Also, I want to point out that this phone is already archaic in 2007. Just to put this really in perspective.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I had to timeline 2007.
Right? Yeah, we were already
fast.
using flip phones and shit. Some people even had touchscreens by then. So that's like a really old cell phone. I just want to put that into perspective properly.
That's a respectable Nokia brick.
It is. And you know what? It's lasted for so long because it's good like that. You know, like that one actor in Lord of the Rings still has like an old Nokia or whatever.
He has more than one.
He has more than one. I like to picture...
He's stockpiling them.
Exactly. I like to picture Phoenix as like that. He just doesn't get smartphones at all.
Good for him. I wish I hadn't.
Right? The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
You're as good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime.
Shouldn't that be your suspect? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. That must mean they witnessed the crime.
Or did the crime.
Or did the crime, yeah. That's like 90% of the first case in Ace Attorney is like the first witness that comes up is the guy who did it. Like,
oh my God.
Everything till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horn.
So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
You are sure?
I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Not your hair.
Hey!
Well, if you are sure it is okay.
No, the prosecution... Wait a minute! Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be?
My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as a waitress in the Borscht Ball Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service.
I take it one of these other services is taking the customers' pictures.
Da. Like, for example, this one.
That's the defendant.
Indeed, on the night of the murder.
Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. I'm Russian, I don't know if you can tell.
No, I just, the word kaput gets me every time.
Kaput.
It's a good hint.
It's like a legitimate word in German. It's just broken. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, wow.
Indeed, that is the victim. Order. This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It's the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht into laps of customers. Casually.
But we already knew they met at the piano when he... this is...
Yeah, I don't know what this is showing. I guess just that they were talking.
This is not groundbreaking, people.
I guess. I don't know. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Okay, Olga's photo added to the court record.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in Rome. The hideout, we call it.
Why with a Y?
Excuse me? The hideout?
It is Rome where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. Is Rome where murder took place. You know.
A famous gangster bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy. Have you been hearing about the famous bad guy?
The names in Ace Attorney are so good.
I also want to point out her name is Orly, which is like a fucking ancient meme.
Oh, yes, it is. The owl just summoned itself into my head. Unbidden.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
God.
What? Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely.
That's terrifying.
I will post my courtroom door later for you. The photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of.
So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orly, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well.
This guy's got to do more logic puzzles.
Yes.
That took him too long.
It really did take him way too long. Come on, Apollo. You have to do some thinking here. Okay, now how many people was that?
If Adam has 3 oranges and Erica has 2 more oranges than Adam has,
then someone is lying about how many oranges. I'm so good at math.
no.
Very well. Witness, you will testify to the court about that night's events. Testimony to...
Bum, bum, bum. Witness testimony that fateful night.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for a game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then left hand is done. But something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death.
Wow, so much in that was wrong. Can we look at the victim photo, see if he has a locket? Also, it was blunt force trauma. A lot happened there.
Okay, yeah, let's go through that. So, yeah, the death was caused by single blow. So not strangling.
Not strangling.
Let's also look at the crime photo.
He does not have a locket on.
And
We can look at Olga's photograph to see if he... Oh, he does. Hey, isn't that the locket that Wright's wearing right now?
maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna shut.
Listen, I'm gonna let you work it out as much as possible. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Like, you're totally on base with this. Like, I knew you were
yeah.
gonna get these like completely right away. But yeah, so we have that. Also, I did want to look to check Phoenix
when the call was made. Can we see when the call was made?
I think there's some record of it somewhere.
Okay,
Wow, the battery's being held on with a piece of tape.
shut the fuck up.
He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care.
So many of my phones had that feature.
Right.
It's a feature.
It is a feature.
Not a bug.
Okay, so there's nothing else on that, but used by the defendant. So from the restaurant's first floor. So he had to go upstairs to
Right.
do that. Okay. Let me see. We haven't actually gotten the diagram yet, but that I think will be coming soon.
Okay, because I just wanted to see if the call was made during the time of death
Yeah.
window.
Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Look how big his hands are.
Why are they that? I've been thinking about that. They're huge.
He's got very large hands.
He's wearing the Hulk gloves, the gloves you can buy under like
He's
like when he's
spray-painted
painted them. He spray painted them.
Yeah, he just wanted to look more intimidating.
So he's wearing. He had to take the batteries out because otherwise, when you hit them, they say Hulk smash.
Fuck, that's good. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. That's a great objection there, kid. Justice, maybe you should be quiet for a while. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. Remember, we went through the main reasons why people object, and you were supposed to memorize. Okay. But he hasn't lost in 7 years.
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as the prosecutor, either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here.
Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Hold on. The poker chips. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Uh-huh. Once the far side belonged to the victim, Mr. Smith. Uh-huh.
Chips, you say? Yummy.
No.
I'm gonna eat them.
Duh. I mean, yes, imagine that. Poker is war.
Poker is war, and we're all losing.
Uh-huh. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoil. This is a weird analogy for poker.
Again, with the, like, you're allowed to be poetic, but every time I do it, I get yelled at. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Chip photo added to the court record. Okay. How do we... Can I see
Yeah,
it?
you can. Oh, you know
May
what?
I
Actually,
please?
I'm gonna put a pause on this because we need one more piece of information, I think, before it
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
All right, so we've already gone through her stuff, so let's just go back through. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that one's okay. They did both have hats.
That's fine. Press on. You could probably.
His locket?
I believe it was good luck, Chanda. He gripped it many times as he played that night.
Yes, he must have felt as though it would carry him to the moon and the stars.
Everyone in this courtroom needs to lay off the poetry.
No! Everyone but Christoph Gavin, who sucks, and we hate him, I guess. Though if it were small enough to fit around its neck, it wouldn't have much lift. To get to the moon and stars, you know? The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about? I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No,
No.
a locket's a locket. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. So now I yelled before, and then I got yelled at for that, and now I'm being yelled at for. Fine.
This is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is fine. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding. Who knows? Fuck.
But So what happened next?
Last hand is done. Something terrible's happened. Let's see.
Okay, let's present that blunt force trauma, cause of death, autopsy report.
Objection. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd.
The normal customers only choke on borscht.
What's going on in this place?
It's a very complicated place, you know? Like people order a borscht and then they choke on the broth. It's terrible tragedy.
I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley, really now, did you witness the crime? Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Yet it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Congratulations, Judge. You've finally noticed something.
So wait, did someone put his hat back on? Someone took off his hat, killed him,
Yes.
then put his hat back on?
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim, his neck.
Oh, really, miss? Oh, really? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this one through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. That it's supposed to all come together. That's what everyone says about courtroom dramas. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Just one?
There's just one.
Oh,
just the one thing.
We're starting over again because, right.
Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination.
Okay, Mara, I got two things.
Yeah.
One, he was wearing a necklace the photo before they went to play poker, but not in the photo of his death. And two, were they wearing hats? We just don't know. Because the thought that somebody took somebody's hat off to kill them and then put their hat back on is too much for me. I can't do that. I can't do it. I won't.
Just like came up and went, hey, look over there, and then grabbed the hat, smacked them, and put it back on. Like, hey, I found it like this.
Yeah, I can't. However, putting a hat on someone's head to cover up the fact that you've killed someone, reasonable.
Just like coming back in and he's just like sitting there with blood and he's dead and someone's just like, let's just put this back on.
That feels much more reason. Okay, like
there's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Can Kristoff read minds?
I think so.
That's terrifying.
That's why he's always smiling like that.
Oh, he does look like he knows what you're thinking all the time. He's terrifying.
I love him. He scares me. I love him.
Chell, I don't know what that says about you as a person. He scares me. I love him.
You had to see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lived with you long enough to know.
Honestly. Okay, I think this one's fine.
Yeah.
I think this one is...
You want me to press this one?
I do want you to press this.
Okay. It's already April. How could it be cold?
At the Borscht Boat Club, we have pride on authentic Russian restaurant.
They keep
tea.
it cold.
Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there.
I'm so sorry.
What happened?
I'm sorry. That's just the worst idea ever.
Yeah, just like, also, like, consider in the localized version that we are currently playing, it is supposed to be in Los Angeles.
Wait. I thought it all still took place in Japan.
Oh no.
So I'm supposed to pretend this is an American courtroom
Yes.
that runs like this?
Yes.
No. No.
Something went deeply wrong.
No. I refuse. I think this is just localized. We're still in Japan. I'm not pretending we're in LA. I can't do that. I can do a lot, but I can't do that.
I mean, like, his name isn't even like all of their names have been localized to hell. Like, it's not Apollo Justice, it's Ororoke Hosuke. Like,
I understand that, but none of this is even within 50 miles.
okay, but I do have to explain one thing. The localizers took this so seriously that they say that it's so Japanese because, like, all the Japanese immigrants that came in weren't as ostracized in this timeline of events.
Okay, I buy that. I'll buy that. I'll take that. I need an explanation and I'll buy it. I did not realize there was an explanation because I literally know nothing. When you said that we all pretend it's LA, I thought you meant like...
No, it's in LA.
I didn't know who...
Like, in the
Okay.
localized version, it is in Los Angeles.
I played 90% of the first Phoenix Wright and I did 90% of that while intoxicated.
Yeah, that
So-
tracks. I think I actually loosely remember you playing it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was at one of our houses
Oh my God.
when I had a loft bed.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I was up there with an alcoholic beverage and my Nintendo DS original, playing Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I think I also tried to play Phoenix Wright when I was like, I want to say maybe 18, 19. And I was very confused, but I did like showing my defense badge to everybody. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, continue.
When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning. Dash. Da. I'm Russian. I'm Russian. I know how to say da.
Okay, so
Could we show the picture with no locket?
yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Present. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? I love his thinking face.
His little finger between his eyebrows. He's just gonna.
It's just so cute.
He's gonna get a red mark there. That's gonna be like semi-permanent.
Yeah. Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
That sounds like something Payne would do, TBH. No, but look at this photograph. Every time I do it, makes me laugh.
Thank you.